Hello everybody, good evening. I was just had my headphones in to listen to see that the audio was coming through okay, and I think it was, so hopefully you can hear me alright. Alyssa is already in. Hello Alyssa, welcome to the stream this evening. Working on my small town romance novel. That sounds ace. Is it set in the US? I love the idea of a small town romance novel. It kind of reminds me of all of those lovely like Hallmark movies and that kind of thing. I know my mum loves watching those. Yes. Welcome everybody. Raven, hi. Evening. How are you doing? How's everyone doing? I've got the fan on this evening, so I don't think it should have any impact on the sound, but let me know if there's any kind of wind blowing noises in the audio tonight, and I can always turn it off. But it started getting a little bit warm here in Yorkshire. I have to say it's been very, it's not actually been very warm at all this week, and everybody's been talking about, oh, there's a heat wave, you know, there's another heat wave coming, and Tom and I were joking this morning, being like, it's bloody freezing. Like, where's this heat wave coming from? But I have to say throughout the day the temperature is just like slowly risen, and it is feeling a little warm now. So Kelly, hello, welcome to the live stream. I'm good, loving that you and I are wearing our hair just the same way right now. Oh, that's cute. I love a little half up, half down hairstyle. My mum used to do these for me a lot when I was a kid, and I don't know, it's just a bit of a classic, isn't it? It's a way for me to feel like I've not got too much hair on the back of my neck when it's warm, whilst also making sure that I've got a little bit of hair down so I don't look too much like a thumb, which I feel like I just look like a thumb when I've got my hair scraped back. Vancouver. I went once in high school and loved it. Amazing. Oh, yeah, Alyssa, sorry, I forgot that you lived in Canada. Yeah, so Vancouver, BC, amazing. I have to say, Canada is one of the top places that Tom and I want to visit. One of the top places that we want to come. I've told this story before, but we did accidentally apply to immigration as well to move to Canada. Turns out that we would be very good candidates to move to Canada if we wanted to at any point. 12 noon where you are. Are you joining on your lunch break, or are you yeah, what's the weather like there today? Paint me a picture. Paint me a literary picture of what your world looks like now, because I love this. I love that we get to meet people from around the world. You know, I've had people join from Norway, Sweden, Denmark, other places in Europe, I've got quite a few people who come in from America and now Canada as well with Alyssa, and I think it's just it's lovely to be. It's mad as well. It's mad to think that I'm sat here in Yorkshire on an evening at 7 o'clock in the evening, and then somewhere else in the world there is Alyssa who is in Canada, and Raven as well in the US, and like it's just mad to like meet people from all over the world, and Kelly who's in England. So it's just, I don't know, it kind of blows my mind a little bit, which probably makes me sound like a bit of an idiot, but it kind of does when I think about the fact that, yeah, we have people from all over the world joining in. It's cool, very cool. Bucky's set in Vancouver, I live in Alberta. I am sorry, by the way, if you share information about kind of the places that you live or little bits about yourself and I don't always remember. I have a really poor memory. I think this is something I'm learning about myself and accepting about myself. I'm trying to accept all the bits of myself that are not traditionally kind of positive things, and one of them is memory. I have a shocking memory, and yeah, so I apologise if I don't remember things like that. I'm getting better at remembering everybody's names, but some details every now and again I do apologise if I forget. Bucky's set, so it's set in Vancouver. What's Vancouver like? I don't think I could Google it, but is it kind of quite remote, and is it very kind of like wild Canada, the kind of Canada that you think of when you think of like mountains and like rural living and that kind of thing? Very hot right now, I'm not working. Yeah, I can imagine it's quite warm. I love the fact that we're an international group. Yeah, exactly. I love that. I think it's just so cool. Like the internet, people talk about the internet and all the kind of different things that are tricky about the internet and social media, and you know, it's definitely a nuanced conversation, but you can't deny that it is incredible that through the power of the internet we get to talk with people from around the world tonight for 2 hours. Like, it's so cool. Writer Sam Wicker, hello, new to you. I'm in America. There we go, North Carolina, aka the humid South. Do you know, it's funny because I've got a friend who is probably currently, I think she's not, yeah, my friend is in North Carolina at the moment. I'm not going to say who, just because obviously I'm saying it on the internet, but I have a friend who is in North Carolina right now, which is very cool. It's funny because Tom, my husband, was actually supposed to go to North Carolina recently. He was going to go to Charlotte, and I was like, you can't go to Charlotte and not take your Charlotte with you. But anyway, he didn't end up going because of various different horrible reasons to do with flights. It didn't work out. New to me as well. Welcome. Is that new to the live streams? New to the channel? Either way, you're very, very welcome. So thank you very much for joining this. I was going to say this evening, but I'm guessing it's this afternoon for you in America. Vancouver has a very neat aquarium. I would love to visit one day. They went viral with live otter cam. I love a live camera. Did anybody else spend like ages during COVID just watching live cams of different random stuff? I had. Does everybody remember the volcano that erupted on, was it in Iceland? The Icelandic volcano? And it was like just like constantly erupting for like months, wasn't it? Probably outing myself here as a very nerdy person, but I would have that live stream on my phone like throughout the night. Like I'd just lay in bed with like the volcano live stream just going on my phone, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd be like, yeah, still erupting. I'd go back to sleep again. I also osprey cam. There was a really popular osprey cam as well during COVID, where ospreys had laid some eggs and we were waiting for them to hatch, and that was very cute. So I can totally understand why otter cam would have gone live. Diana, how are you doing? Welcome into the live stream. Thank you for joining us again. It's very hot here in the south, and I've gone down some sort of bug. So if I quietly drift away, I might have fallen asleep. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, don't worry at all. If you need to go lurking and quietly go and, yeah, lay somewhere cool and have a rest, absolutely do that. Really, really important. So, oh, you're near Charlotte. There you go. Highly recommend, because the food is amazing. Well, we may get there at some point. I do feel like I should eat for free in Charlotte, because I'm called Charlotte, right? Does that happen? I remember when the royal family when Kate Middleton was pregnant with the daughter that would become Princess Charlotte, people were placing bets on the name. And I don't know why I didn't do this, but it was like, if your name was Charlotte and you bet that the new royal baby was going to be called Charlotte, you got like quite good odds. I mean, I don't think you were winning thousands and thousands of pounds, but I think you could win like a couple of £100 on a sweepstake. And I didn't put any money on that, but I was like, she's obviously going to be called Charlotte because it's the best name in the world. I think Monterey Bay Aquarium here in California does that too, so I'll check it out. Vancouver's, yeah. I love the fact that we've got live streams from around the world. Again, I think that's something that came out of COVID, and I think it's really, really cool that we can do that and see, just see places like operating and see the animals and stuff. It's really cool. Typically, I've just written a postcard to Montreal, but sadly don't have the energy to go and post it. I mean, you can get Royal Mail to come and collect from your house now, but no, rest up. I'm sure it can be posted tomorrow or in a couple of days. I think they only do replays with Vancouver now, something about the aquarium and the rescue having licensing issues, I'm not sure. I do get the impression that like live streaming for a really long period of time probably is quite intense in terms of like having the cameras set up all the time. Presume somebody is monitoring the live stream on like YouTube and this, that and the other all the time, so I think it's quite intense. It's lovely to see, but I can understand if they have to do like replays now that we don't need them as much. Lene, evening, how are you doing? Thank you for joining the live stream again, and my mum's here. Hi mum, thank you for joining. How are you doing? Have you finished your cardigan now? Because a few live streams ago you were working on the cardigan while we were in the live stream, but it's gone a bit quiet on the cardigan front now. Google Earth is another fun part of the internet. Getting to see places I can't travel to is amazing, especially for book writing. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, the number of times that I will go somewhere. So it's funny, when I was on holiday a few weeks ago, I went to Carcassonne, and it's somewhere that I've wanted to go since I was 16, and I first read Labyrinth by Kate Moss, and I was absolutely obsessed with it. And oh, I can't tell you, I just nerded out so much in Carcassonne. And so I read Labyrinth. We were driving from Fremora in northern Italy. We were driving all the way down to Portugal, but we drove from Fremora to Carcassonne. I think it was about a 9-hour drive. So I was like, I'm going to read Labyrinth in the car on the way there so that I can kind of like immerse myself in Carcassonne when we get there. And all the time I was like reading, because I was reading it on my Kindle app on my phone, because I only took 6 physical books with me to Portugal on holiday, and one of them was not Labyrinth. So I was reading it on my phone, but then constantly like going on to Google Earth and being like, you know, the main character was talking about like walking down a particular route in the city, like the city, I don't know how you pronounce it, city is the medieval city, and so I was like Googling whereabouts she was, and when the modern day character was talking about like being chased through the streets or at her, she described where her hotel was in relation to the city, and so I Googled it to like see where that was and stuff. I just think it's amazing like to be able to, not only with writing books, but when reading books, especially if your book is set somewhere real, you can go and have a look at what the world, what that place actually looks like. I just think it's amazing. I do that quite a lot when I'm reading something. Yes. Jill, hello. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. How are you doing? Are you still reading this evening? Still reading this evening, sorry. Are you reading this evening? I say still because I know that, Jill, you often come with a book, and you've become my kind of person now for what you're reading. Let me know. Because I'm interested in your reading tastes. I still haven't started the names yet. I've got it on my bookshelf. But yeah, definitely I'm going to read that soon, and then I'll let you know what I thought about it. Finished cardigan ages ago, knitting little elephants for the charity that support parents of stillborn babies. Oh, I mean, that's heartbreaking, but very, very sweet that you do that as well. I know that you've done other things to take into the hospitals as well, haven't you? Like blankets and things for the preemie babies. You're so cute. But yeah, little elephants. I can't imagine how horrible that is to go through that situation. But yeah, having little mementos and keepsakes at that time must be really kind of a small comfort in a really difficult time. Yeah, you are cute. Also, just to say, we've got cat cam with no cat again. Do you expect anything different at this point? Do you just expect an empty cat cam? Hopefully he'll join at some point. Also, sorry if you can hear a few noises in the background. Tom is here living his life. He's making dinner for himself. He's down in the kitchen, so I'm not going to ask him to be overly quiet because, you know, it's his evening as well. But just to explain if you hear any noises. I don't think you will because I've got my mic plugged in and it's right in front of me. But just to explain. So, gosh, it's nearly 7:15 already. What's everybody going to do this evening? I know that, oh gosh, who was it? It was Alyssa, right at the top of the live stream, said that you're working on your small town romance novel. What is everybody else doing this evening? I'm just going to have a sip of my squash. Giant bottle. I've got a new squash tonight. It's orange and mango. It's nice. Usually go for an orange and pineapple, I think. But orange and mango is really nice. Reading Anna Karenina. I need a palate cleanser from a lot of classics, so I'm also reading a Marcia Willett family saga. Oh, I've not heard of Marcia Willett. Not really a massive fan of family sagas, but yeah, I know what you mean about needing a palate cleanser. I have to say I've done a lot of reading at the moment, like, don't get me wrong, I love all reading. I've done a lot of reading at the moment for like content, so I've been finding myself, I'm never a person who used to read multiple books at once. I was very much like, I will read one book and then I'll read another book, but actually just recently I have found myself kind of dipping in and out of a few different things. Try and do lots of charity knitting, it makes such a difference. I do hearts, 2 to a set, 1 to put in the coffin, the other one for the widow or widower to have as a keepsake. I think that is absolutely, it's heartbreaking, but it's also so lovely as well at the same time. Applying final edits to the anthology project. How exciting. You've got quite a lot of time as well, haven't you? Was it early August you were saying is the deadline, or the end of July? That's really good. I think it's really nice to be able to get to a point where you can get the final edits done and then maybe give it like some space, like walk away from it for a week or so and then come back to it. I did that with my undergraduate dissertation. I wrote it really early because I was super nerdy. I wrote it like 2 months before it was due to be submitted, and so I managed to like have some space and walk away from it and then come back and do like final edits like with a month to go. I think it really helped having that space. Kelly's reading Yesteryear and maybe doing some mid-year vision boarding. Amazing. Look, I've got it here. It's literally here. I read it. If people are interested to know what I think, Thursday's video will be all about Yesteryear. I'm doing a little review video of the book, and also kind of talking about tradwives and tradwife fiction and fiction that is very much of our time and that questions kind of the world and the experiences that we're having at the moment. So I think it's going to be quite an interesting video. I'm a bit nervous to do it, but that's what I'm going to work on tonight. Actually, I'm going to work a little bit on the script for that video, and then I'm also going to do some work on my book. I'm working on edits for the 4th novella in my latest series. It's the last one. It's called My Husband Wants to Keep Me Sated. Oh, I say. That sounds very interesting. Reading Thou Savage Woman, Killer Women in Early Modern Britain by Blessing Adams. Oh, that sounds amazing as well. Is that for your studies, Lainey, or is it just because it sounds like a good book? August 1st is the deadline for the final draft. Yeah, I thought you'd said that. Late July, early August. So you've got some really nice time actually to do some final edits and then, like I say, have a little bit of a break from it. So, awesome. Super cool. Well, we might as well leave it until 20 past and then we'll go into the first writing session. Well, the first session. I call it a writing session, don't know why. Because I think for the most part, usually, not always, but I know that not everybody is writing. Sometimes it might just be me, so... No, just because it sounded really interesting, fair enough. I've got a book on my... Is it just... I can just see it between my screen. It's called Talking with Psychopaths and Savages by Christopher Berry D is the book. And I picked that up just because it sounded really interesting. Talking with Psychopaths and Savages. I actually picked it up because... there was a book that I wanted to write which was set in like a kind of like a secure unit, and I wanted to have people who were accused, people who had like committed crimes in there alongside people who had mental health issues and mental health illnesses and this, that and the other. But then I realised that that would never happen. In reality, you would never have somebody who committed a crime with mental health disorders in the same facility as somebody else. So I never ended up reading the book as part of that research, but it's something that I definitely am interested in reading at some point. Yes. So yeah, I'm going to do some edits to the script for the yesteryear because I really want to get that right. I want to make sure that it's quite... I mean, it won't be super scripted because I'm me and I can't read a script verbatim. I end up waffling, but it's just a bit of guidance to help me kind of keep on track with what I want to say. And I'm also going to make it into a Substack article as well because I think it should be relatively simple for me to change that from like prompts into a Substack article. So that's cool. And then you may have spotted, oh, if I just move this way, there's a little hint of another book that I might be reading soon and doing a video about. What do we think of that then? And have you got any kind of books or content that you'd like me to do on the channel? I've got a pretty tight video schedule, but I'm always looking for, you know, you guys are the ones that consume my content. You're the ones I make it for. And so if there's anything that you really want me to do or read or talk about, then I can always do that. For sure. I've got, I did my reading, where has it gone now? Reading 1-star reviews of books that I love. I'm also going to do a video reading 1-star reviews of books that I hate. And then, because I'm me, I'm then going to read my own reviews for a video, which probably not the best thing to do, but why not? If I'm reading reviews of other people's books, I've got to make it fair and read reviews of my own, haven't I? But yes, that is the plan. Right, we are at 20 past. Shall we go into the first session? I've got the soundtrack style music playlist this week, so we'll listen to that. We'll have 20 minutes. Again, for anybody who's lurking or who is kind of watching this live stream for the first time, this is what we do. We have 20-minute kind of focus sessions. I don't talk, I shut up. I put some music on in the background. I get on with my writing tasks, and you can do whatever you want to do for 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll have another chat. Okie dokie. Let's do it. Sorry. I don't actually know when the music stopped. I'm hoping it was only a few seconds ago. But I was deep in deep in reviewing. I spent that entire 20-minute session actually working on the kind of script essay for yesteryear video tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I'll probably film it tomorrow, and then edit it on Thursday. I do try to get ahead as much as possible on my videos, but sometimes I just don't, and this is a time in the year when I'm not able to get that far ahead, so I'll probably continue doing that. It's just a few seconds, so no worries, okay? I mean, to be honest, if you're all doing your own thing anyway, then it's not the end of the world if it's a few seconds or something like that before I come back to chatting. I got about, three-quarters of the way through. I think it's going to be quite a long piece. Does anybody go on Substack regularly? And what kind of length piece do people put on there? I mean, I think I'm just going to do my own thing and it'll just be what it will be. But I think it's going to be quite a long piece in the end, just because I had quite a lot of thoughts on it. Finished recording a tag video instead of editing. Procrastivity for the win. I've not heard that before. Procrastivity. That's a cool word. Yeah. Recording a tag video. What's a tag video? I vaguely think I can remember. I remember people doing tag videos, but I can't remember what they are. Jill loves Substack. Do you know what? I've had a number of people say to me, you should get on Substack, you should do it on Substack. And it's just something I'm just dipping my toe into. I've read a couple of long pieces. CJ Cook posts some long posts sometimes. Okay, so people are putting longer pieces on there. I think the couple of bits that I've read of people have been quite short. But to be honest, I don't want to do something short necessarily, because then it's just a bit like a fluff piece. I'd rather write something that has some real meat to it, like that actually discusses the book and is going to be something that, really gets into the heart of what I'm thinking about a book, rather than it just being a piece for the sake of publishing a piece, if that makes any sense. I've seen people post 2,000 to 7,000 words or just paragraphs. I think it's up to you and how many thoughts you have. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I'm really not putting the pressure on myself with Substack, because anybody who has been around for a long time knows that I do struggle to maintain routines and maintain kind of things long term. So I'm just not putting any pressure on myself with it at all, in the hopes that by not putting any pressure on it, if I write one piece a month for it, then that's absolutely fine. So yeah, I think it's going to be mostly when I do things like videos where I do write a little bit more of a script, where there'll be longer videos. I'm planning my 100 Books Over 100 Years series has quite a strict script. Not a script, but it has a really strict structure, and I think that lends itself quite nicely to an essay format. So because I do write quite a lot of that out anyway in terms of the structure of the video, that will change into an essay quite nicely. And then I just want to put on some really quick little reviews of things. So I think I'm going to do that maybe as well at some point, but we'll see. We'll see. I put a video up for my lovely YouTube members today, and basically I had to apologise to them in the video, and it was, Kelly I was replying to, basically because I managed to get in my own head and worrying about what content to make for my YouTube members. And in the process of worrying and overthinking and getting anxious about making the content, I didn't make anything. And then it looks twice as bad because I've not made anything. So I'm trying to stop overthinking too much. If anybody's getting any tips on not overthinking in life, I'd love to hear them, because I'm not doing very well with it at the moment. So yeah, how did everybody else get on in that session? Did you enjoy reading? Diana, I don't know if you're still with us, but I hope you're okay. I hope you're resting. You don't have to reply. Don't feel like you have to reply on the chat. Just know that we're thinking of you and sending good vibes down the internet to you. This one was a For the Love of Dragons tag, and you answer preset questions and tag people to do the same. Oh, I love that idea. Maybe you could do that with books. I don't know what For the Love of Dragons, is that a book? I might be being an idiot here. But I think feel like you could do that with a book. You could read a book and you could like set up 3 or 4 questions, and then you could tag other book reviewers in it and ask them the same questions. Yeah, I think that would be really cool kind of bookish video to do. Somebody's already probably doing it. I'm probably just being a bit of an idiot. Loved the video update video today. Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, I need to get better. I will get better now that I've kind of got over myself a little bit. I'll just do casual videos. Like I say, I am a member. I pay to be a member of Amy's Crypt, which is a kind of paranormal channel. And what I love about their members' content is literally them just picking up their phone and doing, even if it's like a minute-long video of, you know, because they're renovating a haunted house at the moment and they are going to be opening it as a paranormal Airbnb, which is so cool. And so they're renovating it at the moment. Sometimes it's literally be like a 30-second video of them like painting the stairs or talking about a mirror that they've got for the bathroom. And I think, you know, something like that is really cool, and it makes me feel like I'm getting a real inside view into somebody's kind of day-to-day life. So that's the kind of thing that I aim to create for the YouTube members. And then there will be special videos that I do every now and again, and that are things that I know don't tend to perform very well on my channel, but I want to share because they're things that I'm passionate about. So good luck with the ending overthinking. The only thing that helps me is my hubs looking at me and going, stop it, get some help. Yeah, maybe I need to create some kind of like, some kind of process where if I'm overthinking, I go to Tom and I say, Tom, I'm overthinking. And then maybe he could get one of those, you know, like those blow up sledgehammers. He can just whack me over the head with a blow up sledgehammer every now and again. Hi, Hannah. Oh my gosh, how are you doing? Tuning in for a bit while you make tea. Yes, nobody's been talking about what they're having for tea. What are you having? There's been no tea chats yet in the video today. What are you having for tea? That's the only thing about live streaming is I live stream over tea time, so I have to have my dinner a lot earlier. So then everybody comes on and starts talking about the dinner, and you make me hungry again, all of you. But I love it. I really enjoy it. I still can't remember, was it Lainey or Kelly or who was it who was talking about somebody making sandwiches in the cinema when they went to see the cinema? Honestly, it's why I love this live stream. I love these live stream chats because we just have the most random conversations and it's ace. I love it. No advice regarding overthinking here. I'm brilliant at that. I feel like we're in a safe space here for overthinkers, aren't we? And again, I'm probably overthinking the overthinking. I'm probably worrying that about, you know, oh my gosh, if I can't get a video out and people are going to like think that I just need to stop. Just need to stop. I think there might be a few videos on book tags, not sure. Most of the ones I do are random, like just about dragons. Or I think I did one about vampires, that's cool. Chili and rice. Nice, 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 nice. Do you know, I don't think... I must have had chili at some point in my life, but I cannot remember the last time that I ate chili. I mean, we've got to be going back like 10, 15 years. Tom doesn't like chili, so we don't tend to have it as a family meal. That was me, full-on sandwich being made in the cinema, loaf of bread and tub of butter. I loved that story. It was absolutely brilliant. I had my tea at 6 p.m, vegan salmon salad and new potatoes. Oh, that sounds nice. What's vegan? Well, how do they make vegan salmon? What is it? Is it tofu? It sounds good though. Yeah, that does sound nice. I've been making a lot of Japanesey type, Korean type meals recently. I was completely sucked into the cucumber salad craze, if anybody remembers that off TikTok and Instagram. And I make the one with kind of peanut butter, soy sauce, sesame seeds, hot sauce, quite regularly, and eat an entire cucumber for my lunch with those kind of seasonings on. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I really like it. And who'd have thought that I would do that and eat an entire... And I'm talking like a big cucumber. You can eat an entire cucumber for your lunch. It's amazing. Baked tatty and beans. Oh, with some cheese on the top as well. Absolutely. Tommy, if Tom can hear me in the background, he's going to be like, no. Tom is like violently opposed to anybody putting anything on a jacket potato other than butter. He is like passionate about it, whereas I'm like, I could take tuna mayo and cheese. I could take beans and cheese. What else do I like? I really like coronation chicken. I could do coronation chicken on a baked potato. It's use up the stuff in the fridge type meal tonight. Yeah, I feel you on that. Sounds lovely though. Do you make it hot and spicy? I'm absolutely addicted to Mama U's hot chili oil. Don't know if anybody else has come across that yet. It is absolutely incredible. It sells out so fast all the time, and yeah, potato filling chat can be controversial. You're absolutely right, Kelly. But yeah, Mama U's, it's absolutely incredible. I don't even know how I came across it. Oh, I think there's a content creator called Mads, who is Crip and Dip on TikTok, and she makes lots of kind of like foodie content, and she was talking about Mama U's chili oil, and I came across it because of her, but it's so good. It just goes well with everything. So I'd be putting a bit of that in my chili. Oh dear. See, I've got wrapped up into into food chat. I love spice, but Chris is anti-spice. The things we have to do for our partners. Yeah. Well, the beauty of something like Mama U's, you can put it on top and then mix it in. But yeah, I like a bit of spice. I used to really love spicy food, but not so much anymore. Just don't eat it that much. Again, Tom's not a massive like curry fan, so we don't really tend to eat curry that often. If we do have something, it's more... I think there's one place, I don't know if it's Indonesian, that we eat quite a lot in Huddersfield. I can't think, but again, we don't really tend to have a lot of... I like hot sauces and chili oils as opposed to like just general spice. I've never heard of tuna or baked potato. We do butter, sour cream, chili, chives and cheese. I mean, that sounds ace. All of those together in one does sound really nice. Yeah, tuna, so you get your baked potato and you put some butter in, and then you get tuna mayo. So it has to be tuna mayo. You're not just getting like a tin of tuna. That would be psychopathic. You get a tin of tuna, make it into like tuna mayo. You can put some sweet corn in there. You can put some spring onion in there. I like to put a little bit of hot sauce in my tuna mayo as well. And then you pop that on top of your baked potato and you have it with... You can put a sprinkling of cheese on the top, although because it's tuna mayo, it's not warm, so it doesn't always like melt. But yeah, absolutely love tuna mayo on a baked potato. Just joined late, have been a lurker for a couple of months. Thanks for your review of the Women's Prize shortlist. Welcome in. Just finished the Mercy Step audio. The audiobook version, was it narrated by Marcia Hutchinson or somebody with a proper Bradfordian accent? Oh, well, I suppose Mercy would. That's interesting. Would Mercy have a Bradford accent? Or would you have an accent similar to her family? That's really interesting. But was it good? Was it really good? I really... That's one of the book that I might actually... Oh, it was narrated by Marcia Hutchinson. Amazing. She's absolutely phenomenal. That was my winner. It really was my winner. I mean, all of them were very good. And I think the correspondent was phenomenal. Very, very cleverly, beautifully written. I mean, how somebody can get character and personality across for each of the different characters through letters is absolutely remarkable. But for me, the Mercy Step was absolutely the one that took my heart. But yeah, welcome into the live stream. Thank you very much for joining after lurking for a while. And yeah, anybody who lurks, you are just as welcome into the live stream as everybody who chats every week. You know, I appreciate that not everybody wants to talk on chat, and some people can't. You know, if you're watching at work, I know, like I said before, we've got people from all over the world, so maybe if you're at work and you can't join in, I just appreciate everyone being here. It's just lovely. I wanted this live stream to be set up as like a way for me to be able to talk to people who engage with my videos, and I feel like we've set up this really cool little community of nerdy people, really nerdy people, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, definitely try it, Sam. Try it and let me know what you think of it, because I'd tried the sour cream chili, as in chili, sour cream chili, chives and cheese, so as in proper like minced chili. You see, I would love that, but I'm not sure Tom would. But then again, Tom, like I say, would only have butter on his jacket potato anyway. Thank you, highly recommend the audiobook. I'll definitely do that. I don't really listen to many audiobooks, but I think that is one that I think I would really enjoy, the audiobook experience. The other one that I would really like to read the audiobook of is Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams. I think that would be a really good audiobook as well. And she's actually just come out with the next one, which is Queenie Does Something. I can't remember what the new one is, but I think that was released today. I'm really excited to read that because I loved Queenie. And actually, Queenie was made into a TV show, and I haven't watched the TV show yet. So one of the series that I'm doing on my channel is Book versus Show. The first one I've done is The Other Bennett Sister was the first one, where I really compared the book to the show. And I want to do more of that. I want to do more where we discuss previous adaptations, because I can do reactions to trailers when they come out for upcoming films, and I can do little cinema vlogs, and I can review those adaptations when they come out. But actually there's been some really great adaptations, or some really bad adaptations that have happened in the past, and I want to discuss those as well. So that's where I'll get into the kind of the book versus show series. So I definitely want to do that with Queenie. Yeah, as well as this one is lurking here in the, oh god, I can never point in the right direction. There, the book that's hiding, which, if you can guess it, I'll give you a little clap if you can guess what that book is. That's on the top. That's going to be the next book versus show video. So, oh my gosh, I've just realised that we've been talking for like 20 minutes. I hope everyone's happy with a slightly chattier video, but we'll go into the next kind of focus session in 3 minutes time at 8 o'clock. So again, if anybody is lurking and watching this, or maybe if you're watching it on demand, because all of my live streams do become videos on demand in the future, yeah, you know, I hope this is a good format for you. Obviously some weeks we do more focus sessions. This is probably a week where we're going to end up chatting a little bit more, and yeah, this is what we do some focus sessions, and then we chat. And yeah, I'm overthinking. See, I'm actually overthinking while I'm speaking at the same time, because do you know what I'm doing at that point? I'm thinking I should have said that at the beginning, because if people are watching it on demand, people are going to want to know the format of the video at the beginning of the video. They're not going to want to know the format an hour in, because they're going to have guessed at the format once they get an hour in. Oh, it's a fun time to be in my head sometimes. It really is. The good thing is that I can laugh at myself, and you know, at least I can identify it. What is that, the first step to acceptance or whatever? I'm here for it, however chatty or not. Thank you, Raven. I'm just here for the company. You guys are amazing for helping me get my rump in the chair. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I started at the beginning of the live stream very, very formally wanting to be like, I need to provide these kind of writing sessions and this, that and the other. But I think every now and again, if we do have a week where kind of quite a lot of people have joined and we're kind of having really cool conversations and it's just organically enjoying that kind of side of things, then we'll just go with it. You know, it'll be a lovely kind of chill. I don't want it to be too rigid. I did have a chat with my mum and my sister about this a while back, because I was worrying that I was either talking too much or that I wasn't doing enough talking about books and writing in the videos, and they said that they both said no, it's actually really good just to talk, just have a chat and hang out and get to know people and this, that and the other. And again, classic example of me overthinking. So I hope this is helping somebody, if not just making me look completely bonkers. I'm hoping it's helping anybody else who gets really in their own heads about overthinking. And it kind of comes into, I can't think who it was, not Lainey. Somebody couldn't join a live stream a couple of weeks ago and asked about imposter syndrome. Is that right? Am I remembering right? And I think this does overthinking leads into imposter syndrome so much, because when you start overthinking, then you start thinking, oh god, there's something wrong with me. Why is my brain always like this? Why do I have to think everything? Your mind goes like 10 miles an hour, and then instantly, once you get to the point of, oh god, why am I like this? Then the imposter syndrome properly kicks in, doesn't it? So yeah, I think having the chatty bits lets us feel not so alone while we're doing our creative thing. That's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Yeah, not so alone. Oh, that's so nice. I think you're totally right. Absolutely right. You know, it's nice sometimes even just to know that whilst I'm doing my little 20-minute kind of writing bit, that you guys are all kind of doing your own thing as well. It's kind of like, yeah, just having a FaceTime with a friend and like going on and doing your little chores whilst the other person's kind of just hanging out with you digitally. So yeah. Shall we go into another session? Let's have another 20 minutes, just because I'm aware that we've had 20 minutes of chat, so we can have another 20 minutes of doing our own thing, and then we can come back and have another nice long rambly chat if we want to. I think that'd be lovely. I really would like to get this kind of script essay done for yesteryear, because then I'm kind of away with the filming of it tomorrow. So yeah, let's do that, and then we'll have another chat shortly. Oh, right, we're back. Finished my article. I finished, well, and the script. I'm basically going to read, not word for word obviously, but I'm going to use it as a script prompt for the video, but I finished it, which is nice. So the article for the Substack is 2,000 words long, which I think is fine. And yeah, I'm just trying to set it up properly now. Substacks haven't really done that before, so I'll sort that out. Bear with me just 1 second. Needed to send a message. Yes. Oh, bear with me just 1 second. I will be back in a moment. Sorry, I'm back. Tom just needed to ask me something. So, yeah. I'm back. Apologies for that, but that is why we have a be right back screen. So that I can quickly nip off if I need to. And I know before I've had like bathroom breaks and stuff when we've been on stream, so I know you won't mind. Yeah, so how was everybody's session? Mum really loved the music in that. And I like this music mix. It was requested by Melissa, who, for anybody who doesn't know, is my sister, who comes into streams quite a lot of the time. And she wanted something that was a bit more like soundtrack, because she listens to a lot of soundtrack mixes and ambient mixes when she works, which I do as well. And obviously I can't use actual soundtrack music because otherwise I'll get copyright banned or claimed or whatever. So I found music that I felt felt like something that would be in a film, that was a bit soundtracky, and yeah, created a mix from that. So I do like it. It is a nice mix. Shall we see? Oh no, I don't have any treats in my drawer. I thought I would have some treats for the cat, but I don't. Oh, speaking of which, hello Poppet. You alright? Yeah? I can't show you him at the moment because I've got boxes on the floor, which have my address on them, so I don't want to show you. You alright? You don't want to get in a box? Are you going to come in? Do you want to come up here? Come in. Come on. Good boy. Here he is. Here he is, a little puss. Little Stanley puss. You alright, my love? No, I wanted some snuggles. Yeah. Yeah, did you nearly knock Thomas down the stairs? Did you? He's such a floofy boy. Oh, stop knocking the screen over. Yeah. I've got another screen here, which, look, ooh, Inception, is the way I monitor the live streams now. And I have the camera like just hooked up on top of the screen, and he's taken to that screen that I have there. I've bought it basically for when I go away, when I work away, when we go to Portugal and I work while I'm in Portugal. I need a second screen. I mean, I don't need, but I enjoy working with two screens. And he's taken to wiping. You know how cats like rub that bit of their kind of cheeks? He's taken to doing that and rubbing against the screen, which is nice. Oh, he's gone in the window. Let's tip this up. There he is in the window. He loves sitting in the window because he can smell all the outside smells. He doesn't go outside, he's an indoor cat, but because he was born on a farm, I think he does sometimes have, like, you know, the call of the wild. It looks like he's about to make an escape out of the window. He won't jump out of the window. He just likes to really sniff. And he loves sitting at the back door. We have like a fly screen, so he's not clever enough to realise he can get through the fly screen. So he just sits in front of the fly screen and can still smell all the outside smells and hear all the outside sounds, and he loves that in the summer. And it also helps because we live in the countryside and we get a lot of flies in the house in the summer just because it's the countryside, and so having the fly screen on the door really helps us as well. It means we can have the back door open and stuff, so he loves it. But he sat there, so it's quite a nice little shot on the cat cam, isn't it? I mean, he won't stay there forever, but at least you can, you know, I do like it when he at least makes an appearance on the live stream, because I do feel like sometimes people think that I'm making him up, but he does exist. He's a majestic boy. No, you don't have to come back. No. You don't have to come back. No, don't come onto my side. No, you don't need to come onto my side of the desk. You stay on your side. There we go. No, you can stay there. You're okay. Yes, you can. He's just looking daggers at me. No, you can stay there. You can stay there. You're okay. He's just sat here. You're fine. That no, you don't need to come over. No. I mean, who can ever really truly say no to a cat? You can't, can you? So I'm sure he's about to jump over. Lay on your blankie. Put that blankie there for you. Although you have got a brand new bed down here that's just arrived. Because somebody had an accident in his old bed. Well, I say an accident. We don't know if it was an accident or a protest. He was at the cattery, which is lovely, don't get me wrong, it's not a horrible cattery, they're lovely, they absolutely adore him when he goes, and he gets lots of attention. But he was there for 3 weeks, which I think is probably about as long as we would want to leave him there for. We wouldn't want to leave him any longer, and I suspect it was a little bit of a protest. Because it happened, I think, like literally the day that we were coming to get him. I think he was a bit like, I want to go home now. Stop wiping your face on my Mac. Stop it. Stop it. Cats, eh? I mean, I love them. I absolutely love cats. I love that he's doing it again. I love the fact that they don't care. Like, they literally don't care. He doesn't care that he's wiping his face on like a £3,000 computer right now. Does not give a rat's bottom. Of course Kitty wants in the box. Of course. The thing is, he won't actually get in the box because he's scared of it. He's actually scared of small boxes. He absolutely loves a washing basket, of all things. Loves getting in a washing basket. We had a green one. We had like a lime green washing basket at our old house, and he loved being in that basket. I'll just lay it down now. Let's see if we can tilt this down a little bit. As soon as he realises he's on camera, he'll move. But yeah, he had this lime green washing basket, and he absolutely adored sitting in it. You just get into bed, and I'd be in bed reading, I'd look up, and he'd just be sat in the washing basket, just staring at me. But sadly, the box broke, and so you can't have it anymore. Oh, okay, Jill. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. I hope you've enjoyed reading Anna Karenina. How have I managed? Have I moved my camera? No, I haven't. I thought my camera had moved then, but it hasn't. Yeah, no worries at all, Jill. Have a lovely week. I'll see you next week. We'll be here next week. Yeah, we're here throughout the month of July. It's, I think, either the second or third week in August is the next time that I'm going to be having a little break, because we've got Tom's mum and dad are coming to stay with us, so I'm going to have a break that week that they are here. But other than that, I'm here every Tuesday, live streaming and chatting. Oh, he's making some biscuits. Oh, I love animals. Like, do you ever just do it? Just look at animals and go, not an attractive face to make on the internet, I know, but I absolutely love animals. I really do. I just think they're adorable. And I find people who don't like animals, I find them quite suspicious. I find it very suspicious, people who don't like animals. But yes. I need to work out how to upload this article onto Substack. I don't quite know how to do that. And I also need to set up pledges. I don't quite know how pledges work. I think that you can monetize Substack, can't you? But I don't know. The way that I would like it to work on Substack is that everybody gets access to everything, but if somebody wants to pay for what I'm creating and wants to support it, then they can do. But I don't want there to be any like paywall. So like there is with members, the members' content is behind a paywall. I don't necessarily want it to be like that with Substack, but I don't know if that's how it works. I'll have to look into it. I will have to look into it properly. I'll look into it properly tomorrow. I don't want the article to go up before the YouTube video anyway, so I think it'll probably put the article up like on Friday, maybe. I also need to decide what to do with the right ambience. I mean, I am still going to keep the right ambience. I need to decide how frequently I want to put videos on that channel. I think that's going to be one where I do them as and when I've got a really nice video to put on there. I'm not going to be one of these, it's not going to be one of these channels where there's something going up every single week. I would rather prioritise really beautiful content on there, which I'm aware the first two haven't really been very beautiful content of me in my office. But the shots that I've got in between of the breaks and things, I think have been really good. And obviously I've got some real lovely content in Italy that I'm going to use to... I've got another video for the right ambience in edit at the moment. And I'm going to... That's got some footage from Italy that I took at the house in Italy that we stayed in, so that's exciting. So I'm definitely going to get that one up. But yeah. It's like looking into the camera almost. Oh, he's so chat. Does anybody else have like a chatty cat? Stanley is so vocal. Not you? He literally never stops meowing from dawn till dusk. I know. I love you. Oh gosh, you have to listen to Charlotte's silly cat voice. I will stop. But yes. My boy was very chatty, especially around meal times. Yeah, I mean Stanley gets like really chatty around meal times. As soon as I'm awake, he's like, climb on me, and he's like meow 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 meow, and he just will meow constantly until he's fed. But even something like he's sat there nearly asleep, and he'll just meow meow. No, it's gonna prove me wrong now by not chatting, but. Sorry, I'm just messaging Kayla. Because Kayla, my friend, Regency Rumours, you know, I talk about her a lot. She's got a Substack and she's set it up. So I'm just asking her about how it works. I'm just like, did you do this when you were setting up your Substack? Bless her. So, yeah, I feel like that's a little bit like all I can talk about at the moment. Sorry, I apologise. But yes, I think... When did we start the last session? The last session was at 8 o'clock, wasn't it? So we finished at 20. So actually we've only just really kind of finished with that. Let's think of something a question that I want to ask you. Well, before that, don't forget that you can like the stream. You can click the little heart at the bottom of the chat and that'll put lots of lovely hearts into the chat. And you can like the stream and you can also hype it. Again, I still don't know what hyping does, but I think it really helps in terms of like telling YouTube that people are enjoying the content. So if you could like the stream and hype the stream, that would be amazing. Please, I really appreciate it. I can gift... memberships, which I have done in the past. I've done that a couple of times now, and every single person that I gifted a membership to has since not stayed on as a full-time member, which is absolutely fine. I totally understand, but I think it's worth doing because people get a chance to see the content that's on there, and I think that's important. So let's do another 5. I don't know who's going to get the 5. Here we go. Oh, LM Snuggles Cat, the lovely person who said that you had joined for the first time after lurking for a while. You've been given a gift membership, so you can have a look and see what the members side of my YouTube channel is like. And Imogen Broadhead, who's my lovely cousin, she's been gifted a membership as well. So actually that's really good, because sometimes I actually like to gift. I would like the opportunity to gift a membership to members of my family who've supported for a long time or whatever, but you can't choose who you give a gift membership to with YouTube. It kind of picks it randomly. So I'll have to let Imogen know. I don't think she's watching the live stream. I'll have to send her a message and just say that she's been gifted a gift membership so she can watch the members' videos as well. So there we go. I think it's nice just to do it every now and again, if I can, give people a free gift membership to be able to go in and have a look. And if people have a look, they watch all the content and then they don't want to continue as a paid member, then that's absolutely fine. That's not a problem. Don't apologise for the kitty voice. Animal lovers get it. Thank you. I just feel like sometimes I sound a bit silly, but don't ever apologise for animals. I have a loudly snoring dog during most of my live streams. Oh, do you know, I love it when Stanley snores. He snores really loudly. And it's just the cutest thing ever. When animals have very human behaviours, I just think it's absolutely adorable. So, yeah. He's a cutie. I love him so much. He's 12. 12 years old. Aren't you? My Siamese Snuggles. Oh, Snuggles is the name of your cat. That's adorable. He's in your lap sleeping. Oh my gosh. So Stanley loves when I am in bed, because I do a lot of reading in bed, like before sleep or on a weekend or whatever. And he comes and he gets in my, I call it my nook. It's like when you sit and you've got the duvets over you and then you've got like a little well between your legs when you sit in bed, and he comes and he gets in there and he loves, and he'll sit there and he'll like pad and make biscuits for ages, and then he snuggles himself down. He absolutely loves sleeping in my lap. Yeah, very, very sweet and cute. I was going to think of a question, wasn't I? So what was the best book that you've read recently? Let me know what the best book is that you've read recently, because I've got quite a lot of books on my to be read pile, but I feel like at the moment I'm in a season where I'm just wanting to like hoard book recommendations and just really read. I'm in a real reading mood at the moment. And I've always been a really big reader, but I feel like at the moment, maybe it's because I'm craving escapism because the world is a dumpster fire. But I'm craving reading at the moment and immersing myself in other worlds. So that'll give us something to chat about for a little bit, is what was the best book that you've read recently? Let me know, please. I can have another drink. I think because it's warm, I'm so thirsty tonight. Which does mean that inevitably when we finish the live stream at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be bursting for the bathroom. I'm going to need the loo quite desperately, but never mind. You didn't need to know that on a live stream. Oh dear. I think what I'll do, we'll leave it... Oh gosh, if we do another 20 minutes, then that'll be the end of the live stream, won't it? I don't want to do another 20 minutes. I'd do a 10-minute one. Apparently Sir Cameron Must Die by Greer Stothers. I love the giggles it gave me. Do you know what? I've not giggled at a book in so long. Sir Cameron Must Die. Right, I'm going to Google this. Sir Cameron. Apparently Sir Cameron Needs to Die. Is it that one? Let's have a look. Greer Stothers, what a name. That's an amazing name. Oh my god, I love that book cover. So the book cover, for anyone who's not Googling it, is it's a purple, it looks like a medieval banner, and it's got like gold scrolling detail on the corner, and the banner is like intersected with lots of red arrows, like arrows that have been shot from a bow and arrow. Really cool. It's called Apparently Sir Cameron Needs to Die. And it says... In this hilarious gay fantasy romance, a reclusive sorcerer is forced to protect a cowardly knight after a prophecy ties their fates together. Funny, touching and inventive, this brilliant debut is perfect for fans of Django Wexler, and dreadful, in which and it says underneath, in which many dangerous and homosexual things happen. All his life, Sir Cameron has stayed as far away from danger as possible. He's quite frankly too handsome to die a pointless death in battle. But then the church hands down a prophecy to his fellow knights. The only way to defeat their nemesis, the mad sorcerer Marullo, is to kill Sir Cameron. Short of ideas, Cameron throws himself on the mercy of the one person who now actually wants him to survive, the mad sorcerer. It does sound like that could be really funny. Okay, you've convinced me. That is going in my add to basket. Oh, well, I pop everything in my basket just to keep for later. But yeah, that does sound funny. The last book that I read that I absolutely belly laughed at was called... Oh gosh, what was it called? I'm gonna have to do some Googling here. It was by a Huddersfield author who, Rebecca Ryan, that was it. My Extraordinary Life by Rebecca Ryan, and it's a book set in Huddersfield, and I think that's why it made me laugh so much, because the character is so British and so northern, and she basically realises right at the beginning of the book that she is very, very ordinary. She's like, I am the most ordinary, boring person in the world, and I need to change it. And so she makes this pact with herself that everything's gonna be extra. She's gonna have an extraordinary life instead, and it's just so funny, like a proper. It's not really a rom-com because there is a romance in it, but it's not the focus. She is the focus. I suppose it's somewhere between a chick lit and a rom-com, and that's really, really, really good. I really enjoyed that book, and I actually did an event with Rebecca Ryan at Huddersfield Literature Festival where I talked about my books and she talked about hers. So it was really, really lovely to meet her. I've just because I googled books set in Huddersfield, and I'm just looking at other books that were set in Huddersfield as well. J.R. Ellis, author of the Yorkshire Murder Mystery series, apparently set in Huddersfield. Eileen Armitage, her Hawksmoor series, is a fictionalised version of Huddersfield known for its unique industrial heritage and the fact that one family once owned it entirely. Did they? Did one family own Huddersfield? I don't know. There you go. It was a sign for my current class, but I've been quite enjoying Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Do you know I've never read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children? I've never read it. I know that's probably going to make me sound horrendous that I've never read that, but is it worth it? As an adult, would you recommend it? Yeah, it's added to my to be read pile as well. I think, thinking about the best book I've read recently, I really, really enjoyed I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, and I also really loved The Safe Keep by Yale van der Wooden. I thought that was excellent. I think those two are the ones that have really kind of stuck with me, and probably The Mercy Step by Marcia Hutchinson. Those are probably the three that I've really kind of had. They've impacted me quite a lot this year, or in the last 12 months of reading them. Definitely really, really enjoyed those. But like I say, I've got quite a few things to read. I've got to read Lady Chatterley's Lover next for my 100 books over 100 years. Now, I have read Lady Chatterley's Lover before, and I've watched... Oh gosh, I must have watched at least 2 of the adaptations. The recent Emma Corrin adaptation, I watched that one. And I've also seen... There was another one as well, wasn't there? I mean, there's been quite a few Lady Chatterley's Lover adaptations. Lady Chatterley's Lover adaptations. Yeah, Emma Corrin and Jack O'Connell. Which is the one that I've seen then? There was a BBC One adaptation with Holiday Granger, Richard Madden and James Norton. I think I've definitely seen that one because I remember Richard Madden playing Mellors. I've definitely seen that one. Maybe that is the only ones I've seen, those two. I think that's why, because I'm like, oh, there's been loads of them, and there hasn't necessarily, just looking at this list. But there were two very close together. The BBC did the one with Holiday Granger in 2015, and then literally in 2022 there was the Emma Corrin version, which I think happens quite a lot, doesn't it? You know, adaptations get done together. But I'm really interested. I'm really looking forward to reading that again, actually, and thinking and wondering what I'll think of it. I think Miss Peregrine's is worth the read. Since it's YA, I hadn't looked into it myself, but it tackles some heavy themes and balances it well with the whimsy. Yeah, I think a lot of YA fiction does that really, really well. Kind of asking tricky, or covering tricky themes or asking tricky questions, but doing it in a really good way. You know, like you say, balancing it with whimsy or fantasy or something funny or this, that and the other. But because I think there's a tendency in the world to treat children and young adults like they don't know anything. And actually I find that YA fiction treats young adult readers with probably more respect and more give in terms of what they understand and what they can actually tackle than we probably do in reality. Which is why I actually really like YA fiction. I don't read a lot of it now, obviously, because I'm quite a bit older, but I really enjoyed it when I was that age. Practical Demonology by Claire Reese, YA-ish fantasy, with some science, medical, animal biology, anatomy thrown in. That sounds good. I've heard of that, definitely, Practical Demonology. Has the cat gone walkabouts? He has indeed, Chris. He's already left. Yeah. I mean, you're lucky that he turned up at all, to be honest, in this live stream, because most of the time it's just me with a cat cam that doesn't feature a cat. Looking like some kind of liar on the internet. He did come. I mean, if you skip back through the live stream briefly, you'll see him. He laid on the blanket for a bit, and he also posed in the window, looking very picturesque in the window. Do you ever read much fantasy? I do. I'm getting a lot more into fantasy. I mean, I read like things like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings when I was younger. I started reading Game of Thrones and then realised that the adaptation had more or less really kind of done it word for word in the first few books, and so I wasn't that interested in reading them. I might go back to them at some point. I have read... there's a really, really excellent series by James Islington? Yes, James Islington, called, oh God, what's the first one? The Will of the Many, and then the second book is called The Strength of the Few. I believe there's going to be 3. I think, is it going to be a trilogy? I think if they said it's going to be a trilogy. And that is amazing. Absolutely incredible. Somebody that I used to work with, Luke, kept telling me about this book. He was like, you've got to read The Will of the Many. You've got to read it. It's absolutely amazing. It's one of my favourite books. And I was like, okay, I will. And then for Christmas, Tom was like, what do you want? What books do you want? And I was like, do you know what? Buy me The Will of the Many, because somebody's talked to me about it so much I feel like I have to read it. And oh my God, I was hooked. So the idea is it's kind of like fantasy that blends a lot of kind of like ancient Rome, ancient Greece influences. So if you imagine it's a fantasy world, but you're set in a fantasy world that is, you know how a lot of fantasy is kind of like medieval in style, it's like medieval fantasy. This is more kind of ancient Rome, ancient Greek fantasy. And the idea is that in this particular world, everybody has the ability to cede their will to somebody. So will is a magical power that everybody has, and everybody kind of lives in this kind of almost like pyramid scheme where the people at the bottom cede their will to somebody on the next level above them, and I can't remember exactly how many, but like a certain number of people at the bottom of the pyramid feed into one person above. So if it's like 8 people on the bottom will feed into one person on the next row above. So that person above has got 8 people's will, 8 people's extra power, but then that person feeds into the row above, and that person on the third row up might have 20 people seeding. But because that person on the third row up has 20 people seeding, it also has the combined power of all of the 8 peoples at the it is a bit complicated, but I'm sure you get what I'm trying to say. And it's so interesting, like, just the world building is fantastic, and the storyline, the main character ends up going to this kind of like school to learn about how to like use their will, and it's just excellent. It's absolutely fantastic, so I highly recommend it if you've not already read that. The other fantasy books that I'm just diving into at the moment is The Magician, the Raymond D. Feist Rift Wars series. I'm two-thirds of the way through The Magician at the moment. That's a book that I'm keeping having to put down because I'm having to read books for my content, and so I'm kind of dipping in and out of The Magician as and when I can. But I'm really enjoying The Magician. I'm really looking forward to reading more from that series. And I would really like to read Wheel of Time. I've not read Wheel of Time, and I watched a little bit of the series and I enjoyed it, but I've heard that the book series is absolutely phenomenal, so I would really like to read that as well at some point. So yeah, I do read a bit of fantasy, and I'm really looking forward to reading more. Do you? Is that why you've asked the question, Chris? Do you really like fantasy? Have you read Ursula Le Guin's Earthsea? No, I haven't. Let me have a look. Ursula Le Guin Earthsea book. The Earthsea Cycle, series of high fantasy books written by an American author. Oh no, I'll read into these when we've finished. I can't quickly see what it's about. But I like a series. I think that's the thing with fantasy, and especially high fantasy. I feel like you need a series, don't you? Because you spend quite a lot of time building up the world and the magic system and everything, and then you get the plot. Earthsea's gorgeous, can't wait to read it. Hubs has read it and has the whole series and the art book. There you go. I still need to read it, you see. I adore Mercedes Lackey's Valdemar novels too. Oh, I've not heard of those either. Mercedes Lackey. I feel like there's so much... Sorry, I'm probably absolutely butchering that name because of my Yorkshire accent. I feel like there's so much high fantasy and fantasy books. There's like so much out there. It's kind of sometimes hard to know. It's a bit intimidating to dip my toes into and kind of work out what I like. I have read quite a lot of romantasy as well, which people have a real hard time on. You know, they really kind of look down on romantasy, and I think I've said this before, like, I don't feel like anybody should ever judge anyone for reading a romantasy novel. First of all, if it gets you into reading and it opens up a love of reading again, or it opens up a love of reading for the first time, then that's absolutely brilliant. And secondly, books are there to be enjoyed. Like, that's the whole point of writing a book. And if that's the kind of literature you enjoy, then you absolutely should. And I have read all the popular romantasy books, not all of them. The big ones, you know, The Fourth Wings and Akatar. I read Alchemized by Senlin Yu, which was the Manacled adaptation. But yeah, I'm definitely in more kind of leaning towards proper like high fantasy now, which is what I would like to get into. Yeah, I read lots of fantasy, sci-fi and stuff. Also some more serious stuff like Laurie Lee. The Earthsea is a series she inspired lots of books. Most fantasy is inspired by it. Oh right. So the Earthseas, is it a bit like the OG fantasy thing then? Because I have to say, when I was reading The Magician, sorry, I keep wanting to call it the Magican, because Tom, bless him, when he was younger, called it the Magican. And so in our house, we keep calling it the Magican, not the Magician. When I was reading that, I could clearly see where George R.R. Martin had got the idea for Game of Thrones from The Magician. So I can see that a lot of fantasy like inspires other fantasy as well. I like Sabah Tahir's books too. Adore N.K. Jemisin's sci-fi fantasy series. Her world building is excellent. Oh gosh, I've got more and more names that I need to have a look at. N.K. Jemisin. American fiction writer. Okay. Science fiction and fantasy writer. Fiction covers a wide range of themes. Her novel, her debut novel, The 100,000 Kingdoms, and subsequent books in her Inheritance trilogy received critical acclaim. Is that a good one to start with? You're saying Broken Earth trilogies. Wow. Broken Earth series. I don't know. What should I start with? Shamelessly writes romance. Absolutely, Sam. You know, I'm putting a sexy blacksmith into my book because, quite frankly, who doesn't want a sexy blacksmith in your novel? There's absolutely nothing wrong with romantasy or any kind of spice. I'm going to say spice because I'm on YouTube and I'm live streaming, but there's nothing wrong with that kind of content. And I genuinely sit here and I think sometimes people trying to say that there's something wrong with that, it feels like censorship of female enjoyment of literature again, in the same way that women were told they shouldn't read novels in the 1800s. It gets me mad. So write your smutty novels, write your romantasy. I will continue to write them and read them and consume them. We should do it as an act of resistance. Robin Hobb. I've definitely heard of Robin Hobb, and I would like to read some of Robin Hobb's books, definitely. All of NK's books are well worth it. Okay, fab. I am going to write Robin Hobb in here too. I'm going to make a little list of fantasy books to have a look at. Yeah, The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, I've definitely I haven't read it, but I've come across it. I've seen that book cover before, so I'm definitely going to read that. I really want to read Wheel of Time, like I say. I think that's something that I'm going to read soon. Fantasy used to be so gatekept, so I think romantasy as a whole feels like it has to fight for justification. Yeah, probably, and I feel like people are, maybe fantasy writers do look down on romantasy writers a little bit sometimes, and it's like, but a lot of people will start with romantasy and then will look for something more. Like, even I, when I was reading romantasy books, I was like, this is great. Obviously, it's great. But I would like a bit more world building. I'd like to know a little bit more about, like, the politics of a world and how it's set up and have lots of different characters and stuff. And that's exactly what I think the natural progression is, you know. So, yeah. I love that. I love having a good fantasy chat because, like I say, I think fantasy is something that I don't consider myself super knowledgeable in terms of as a writer. Like, historical fiction, I know well. I know historical fiction pretty well, and I've read a lot of historical fiction. And kind of modern literary books are usually on my scope because I read them and obviously I talk about them a lot on my channel. But fantasy is something that I've really been getting back into and been enjoying recently. So it's really great to get some extra recommendations on fantasy books because I'm definitely gonna. And fantasy is like pure escapism, isn't it? I talk about wanting to read more books because I want to escape into novels. Fantasy is the ultimate. It's the ultimate escapism. It really is. So, oh my gosh, it's nearly 9 o'clock. We've done 2 sessions. We've only done 2 focus sessions in this live stream, but I've really enjoyed talking tonight, and I hope you all have as well. It's been absolutely fantastic just to chat and just have a little natter. It's been really lovely. There is a high spice queer fantasy series I've been reading that I'm really enjoying. The last book just came out at the end of June. Oh, what's the name of that? I'd love to look into that as well. I love fantasy because I can create my own rules, cultures and races whilst also making it relatable to real world problems like mental health issues. Exactly. I think it is pure creation, isn't it? It's fantasy, you know. Everything is yours to make up. It is the joy of writing in the way that, you know, if you write a modern book you can't, and if you write a historical fiction book you're arguably probably the most restricted, whereas fantasy, it's like, what do you want the world to look like and what do you want it to be, and this, that and the other, but you can also talk about some really important topics, like you say, along the way as well. Me and Hannah are going to watch Love Island after this. Yes. I mean, I don't say yes to Love Island because I can't watch Love Island. I literally popped it on and I think I watched about 30 seconds and I put it on and watched 30 seconds and just went, no, I can't, sorry. And I turned it off. Mainly because as someone who is plus size and has been told by society and capitalism and all that stuff I'm not going to get into that I am somehow less worthy because I live in a big body, I don't like shows that just put very beautiful people in a space together and try and kind of, I don't think that, you know, nobody on there is trying to tell people that you should look like this, but I've not seen a plus size person on Love Island. I've not seen anybody who has a disability on Love Island. Feel free to correct me if I am wrong, but I don't know. And I just find myself getting a little bit annoyed. And I'm like, this is supposed to be relaxing, and it's not really relaxing, and so I stopped watching it. I let Love Island exist, and if you love it, then absolutely enjoy it, and I really do hope you enjoy it. I'm more likely to watch something like, I've been really enjoying Clarkson's Farm. Don't necessarily agree with Jeremy Clarkson's politics, but I agree with his experience as a farmer and all the good things that he's doing for British farming. The way that he is giving a voice to British farming, I think is really good, and I've been really enjoying watching Clarkson's Farm. Yeah, we only watch it for the escapism and the drama. Yeah, I mean, it's toxic, but yeah, people love it. I mean, there's a reason why those kind of shows are super popular, aren't they? And hey, I'm not trying to sit on a soapbox and say that I'm better than anybody else by not watching it. Absolutely not. It's just for me and the person that I am, it's almost triggering for me, and so that's why I don't watch it. I'll watch things like Clarkson's Farm and... Oh, Tom and I watched Project Hail Mary over the weekend. That was absolutely exceptional. And actually, speaking of... Chris, you were saying that you like sci-fi. I really enjoy sci-fi. I actually love science fiction films more than books, but I really want to read... I've never read The Martian, but The Martian is one of my all-time favourite films. I love The Martian, and I think Project Hail Mary is going to now become like my second favourite. I love putting on a sci-fi film. I really love The Arrival. Is it The Arrival? The one with the... oh gosh, what's her name? Yeah, the one where they come in that kind of like bean shaped and it stands upright, and there's that beautiful, beautiful piece of music. Oh god, my brain's just going completely to mush. But yeah, I love sci-fi films like that. So yeah, that's what I usually watch if I need a bit of TV escapism as well. But anyway, it is 9:02. I am waffling now. Shall we not cut the live stream off, but shall we wrap things up? Because I'm aware that everybody's got lives to lead and got things to go on to, and I'm losing the light. Yeah, Project Hail Mary was amazing. It made me cry. Like, I was crying like 2 or 3 times throughout that film, and I didn't expect, and I belly laughed like a lot as well. I loved how much comedy there was in it. There was a lot of comedy in it, where there wasn't... I mean, there was comedy in The Martian. There were moments that made me laugh and that I really enjoyed, but like Project Hail Mary felt actually funny at times as well. It was great. Absolutely great. But yes, thank you everybody. Thank you again, as always, for coming along to the live stream. You're very welcome, Kelly. Thank you so much for being a lovely YouTube member. And also Lainey, who is a YouTube member as well. Thank you guys. Especially, but thank you everybody who comes along to these videos. Thanks to anybody who interacts. You know, if you like a stream, if you watch a stream, if you watch a video, even if you've been, you know, kind of watching my live streams on demand later because obviously it doesn't fit in with where you are in the world, or if you watch any of my videos, it's any kind of interaction is just amazing. It's yeah, I love my little corner of the internet. It's very small and very nerdy, but we love it. So yeah, thanks again everybody for joining and for having a chatty stream. You know, we don't always have a chatty stream. Sometimes we have more of a focus stream where we're getting on with things and doing stuff. But tonight's been really lovely to have a really good nerdy chat. So, yeah, have a lovely week. I'll see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. And, yeah, you'll probably see more from me this week with some more content and stuff that I put out. So, yeah, take care, everyone. I'll pop it onto the end stream music and you can enjoy the end stream music. And I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.